So you also showed her as an adult in the market where it was kind of fish, but she was feeling very confused and she didn't feel comfortable because there was no nature around. Why was that scene shown?
It was to remind her of the contrast. She had had a life in the beauty and connected to nature, and she had had a life where it was barren and she was not connected to nature, and she walked around with a deep sadness. Even in this lifetime, she has felt that contrast, and that contrast is there for a reason. It is to help her remember why she is connected and why she is doing the things she's doing and why she is so passionate. In this life, she was sad because when she was younger, she used to look at the mountains and they used to fill her heart up with joy and happiness.
Yes.
It would just take her to a place of absolute calm and serenity because she would be in awe of the beauty. She could appreciate the beauty. And now, as an adult, when she looks at mountains, she does not get the same experience. She misses that experience very much. But we have to take it away from her so that she will keep fighting to have it, so that she does not forget. She gets comfortable very quickly, and that is sometimes the problem.
Okay, so it's serving a purpose for her to have
Yes.
forgotten that.
Yes. The contrast in her life is always a reminder of when she has gotten too comfortable and she is losing focus.
Okay. Okay, what about the little boy? It seemed to be gifted and she was there to take him. She was the temple kind of keeper of these people. She also visited the cat people. She was also there when Atlantis fell. Seemed to be a place where crystals were amplifying vibrations. Why was that live shown?
Those are questions that she has had for a long time. She has known these things to be true, but she was not sure. She had doubt. We wanted her to see that there is no reason for doubt, and that everything that she saw and of who she is explains why she is here and the work that she is doing. As in Atlantis and as in Egypt, her work was with the crystals. She knows how to manipulate their energy, for it is just energy. But because she truly knows how to connect, how to love herself, to receive and give love to the planet, she is able to manipulate the energy and therefore use the crystals for anything and to amplify any energy. She used to set up crystals as lights. They would run in the evening. There was no electricity, but there was light because she manipulated the energy. She is not the only one of her kind that can do this. There are many of us in our soul groups that have come down to this planet to teach and to do what is need to be done. But she has a very specific task because she has a very specific skill set. The crystals are only one of them, and that is where we are needing her to do the work now.
With the crystals right now.
With the crystals. That is why she is so obsessed with them.
Yes, and how can one amplify the energies of a crystal?
Once you are connected through self-love for yourself and respect for yourself, with respect to the planet, you are then able to manipulate the molecules. You cannot manipulate the molecules if your intentions are not true. Therefore, it is a very difficult thing to do. You have to truly be connected. You will then see it is like a puzzle. You will just move a few pieces around and it will then do what you need it to do. Another way of explaining it is you will simply just tell the crystal what to do, which is what she does now. She sometimes thinks she's silly because when she reads books of how the people are working with crystals, she thinks she is doing it wrong, but she's not. She is the only one that is doing it right. Everything she reads is not the right information. She loves reading, but we are trying to distract her from the books, because the information that she is reading is also what is creating the self-doubt and is leading her away from the work that she is doing.
Okay. Is there anything else about how she could trust herself better? Kind of trust that first thought better, not need confirmation through books or people, places, and things.
She will not want to hear this,
Mm-hmm.
but she knows this is coming.
Yes.
She needs to take better care of her vessel.
Mm-hmm.
She has forgotten about her vessel lately. She is not exercising enough. She used to do exercise that she loved. She needs to find time to do it again. We know it has been very difficult. She has a lot on her plate. She has been doing a lot of spiritual work during the day and during the night, and she finds herself exhausted most of the time. It has also not been good for her morale, for when you are tired, you are miserable, and then you also allow yourself to forget who you are and allow the self-doubt in.
Yes. But why is the exercise so important?
Her body is becoming stiff. Her joints are becoming stiff. They are not moving enough. Her job that she is doing is requiring her to do a lot of sitting. And then she gets home exhausted and she does more sitting.
Yes.
And then she does lying.
Mm.
She is just sitting and lying. And then her body does not feel nice and she does not feel nice. She is connected to her vessel. She knows this. Her vessel has been telling her this. She has also been smoking a lot. She has chosen to smoke in this lifetime and to have this experience. And therefore, we do not see anything negative happening. But if she is not moving her body and she is smoking more, she is damaging the vessel. And it is causing her light to dim. It is very important that she starts moving. It would be better if she gave up the cigarettes. But as this was an experience she chose, if she just moves, it will already help a lot of the problems. If she just moves, it will help her to also feel more calm and relaxed. By not moving and sitting all the time, she is allowing the energy in her body to get trapped and stagnant, as she would call it. She loves to move stagnant energy. Sage does not always work on the body. She is learning that though. Movement is sometimes the best thing. Movement is sometimes the only thing to get the stagnant energy out, and then obviously to put good nutrients in. She has always been very good with her diet. She has never taken a liking to pork, but it's because she remembers from when she was in Atlantis that pork could not be consumed.
Why is that?
It is very difficult for the body to digest it, and pork vibrates, or pigs vibrate, almost on the very same level as humans do. And that is why you cannot consume yourself, and therefore you cannot consume pork. But this is also not applicable to everybody. Remember, there are many different species, many different alien species, and planetary human species on the planet. Everybody is of a different group, and different groups must eat different things.
Yes.
Yes, people of the ocean must eat more of the ocean. People of the earth must eat of the earth, and so forth and so forth.
Okay.
It is at this stage recommended for most people to become vegan or vegetarian.
Why is that?
She is becoming emotional again, a good emotional, because she has been fighting with this concept. But she is not wrong, but she is also not right, and we will explain. She likes to eat meat, and she is a meat eater. She is of the earth in that form. She is correct. She only consumes certain fruits and vegetables by nature because that is of what her body can consume of her group. But a push for humans generally to eat healthier and cut meat out of their diets is to try and help them get rid of deep processed meats, as well as the fact that the animals have not been treated with love. The animals have not been taken care of properly, and they are full of chemicals, and therefore there is no love exchange through the meat that they are consuming. They are consuming the opposite of love when they are consuming that meat. And that is the problem. That is why we are trying to get people to understand that it's about raising the vibration, and it is not a forever thing. It is just while we are cleaning the planet up. Once we have cleaned the planet up and things are not contaminated, it will be different. Meat is not the biggest worry at this stage. Anything from the ocean is our biggest concern. The ocean is very polluted and very dirty. There is a lot of poisons and radiations that are leaking into the oceans at the moment. That is why we showed her the river with the fish. She loves water and she loves the oceans, and therefore she understands the concept.
Okay, very good.
It is very dangerous to be eating creatures of the sea.
Yes. And where is this leaking coming from? The leaking into the ocean?
The leaking of chemicals is coming all over. There are big radiation plants that are leaking into the ocean. There are bigger corporate companies that are sending ships out that are dumping all sorts of waste into the oceans.
Okay. So what does it do if we eat seafood?
Well, we are consuming the same poisons.
Yes.
If we are eating fish that are filter feeders, for example, your crustaceans,
Yes.
they are filter feeders. They are literally filtering the ocean to clean it. They are the dustbins. And now you are consuming them. All you are doing is you are now, therefore, consuming all that poison.
Yes, but they're so delicious, aren't they?
They are. She loves them very much. She doesn't eat all seafood, but seafood, nonetheless, she loves, and she especially loves those. But that is why she always feels, what is the right word? Not tired, but moody after she has eaten seafood. It is because her body is working very hard to try and get rid of all the toxicity that she has consumed.
Yes. Okay, very good. Anything else for her vessel today?
Her vessel says the skin is very dry. She knows this, but she is a procrastinator and she will not do what is needed. She needs to please put more cream and oil onto the skin. The skin is not nice when it is dry, and the vessel is complaining about that a lot.
Yes. She can maybe take an oil, put some olive oil in her bath because I know she likes to bath.
Yes.
It will like absorb because I know that's what I use in it. So I never have to
She does use
moisturize.
oils in the bath, but she does not use it enough. She must use every day.
Yes, every
and
time.
She must lather the body. She has felt the call to the water. She has been wanting to cleanse herself more often. It is not about the cleansing. It is about spending time in water. Everybody will start getting the call to want to be around water so that we can all collectively push our energy into the oceans to help clean it.
Okay, are you talking about the ocean specifically, not any other standing water or bath water or anything like that?
Well, she does not want to go now close to the ocean because she does not like the cold water. So she has been taking more frequent showers. It is just the exposure to the water, because the water will still go back into the planet. Water contains memory. Water holds memory, and that is what it is about. So by her doing her cleansing ritual, it is because she can feel that we are wanting her to be in the water, to push her energy into the water. The water will therefore absorb that energy and hold it as a memory. And it does not matter where it travels throughout the planet or the
Mm,
ground, it will hold that vibration. And from that vibration, it will do what it needs to do, and it will help raise the vibration. And once you raise the vibration, the oceans will become cleaner,
yes.
because once the vibration of the water is lifted, nothing can exist that is not of that vibration. And that is what the shift is, because all these things are of the 3D world and of the 3D vibration. People think that the world is going to change and you're going to wake up and it's going to look different. It will not look different. It will smell and feel different, definitely, but it will look the same and it will have the same contrast. It will just be of a higher vibration.
Yes, very good. Okay, so all the light workers basically need to go into the oceans and just kind of feed the living library with their vibration in order
Yes,
to raise the.
that will definitely help if they can do that. There are some areas in the country right now that are being devastated with floods. That is part of the cleanse. That is the mass water that is coming to do the cleanse. But that it is cleansing now is going to go back into the ocean. And therefore, cleaning the ocean is very important. Natasha knows this.
Okay, so you're saying the flooding that's happening in certain parts of the country, that's cleaning the country, but you're saying then that filth is going into the oceans, which then needs to be cleansed again.
Yes, it is cleaning it off of the land. It is helping with the lower vibrations that are holding deep control. For we are the root, and the root needs to get cleaned so that we can get anchored in for the rest of the planet.
Yes. And you're talking about the earth. That's the earth aspect, right?
Yes, the earth aspect.
Okay. Just kind of getting back to Sam's questions. Was there anything else about her vessel, how she can upgrade her vessel or treat her vessel with better respect, care, self-care?
No, she is already taking care. She has always listened, but it is just those few things that she has forgotten about lately because she has been caught up in the mundane.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so she was talking about there was branding, some kind of branding that happened on her shoulder by a client at the place that she works at.
Yes,
What happened there?
that was because she had set herself off like a beacon. She had wanted the people to see who she was, so that she would feel accepted and acknowledged, so that she would get rid of her self-doubt.
Okay.
The self-doubt that the whole collective was feeling at that time during that energy shift, it was not only her, but she did not understand that. She took this very personally, but she had been feeling a little lost. She did open herself up as a beacon. She did not shine her light to repel. She shone her light in a way to say, look at me.
Okay.
I am here. Find me. I am here. She was not supposed to do this.
Okay.
We could not intervene. We needed her to know that this is what would happen if she had done that again, and that she should just keep doing what she is doing because she is perfectly on track and right of where she needs to be.
How can she prevent that from happening in the future again?
To keep trusting herself like she has always done and not needing validation from an outside source.
Yes.
She has never needed validation from an outside source.
Well, the only validation that exists is the validation of self, isn't it?
That is it. Your own validation and your own self-love. Therefore, again, if you do not validate and love and respect yourself, you cannot validate and love and respect the planet.
But I suppose,
And therefore, you cannot keep the even exchange of energy flow going, like the number 8 or the figure 8, as she likes to say. You have to keep the exchange going. The light cannot exist without the dark, and therefore it has to be accepted. Nothing is bad and nothing is good. We need to stop labeling things always, and we need to understand. And the journey for self is purely that. Because if you are always looking for things externally, you will never come back to self. And the only way to anchor in to this new vibration is to go into self. Because once you are in self, you can connect to the earth energy, and the earth can love you and you can love the earth in return. There will be this perfect energy exchange, and you will never need anything else outside of you to get that energy. It is the lost knowledge. I showed her this in one of the other lives.
Which life is that?
When she was with the Incas, that is how they lived. They did not leave a footprint on the planet. And even today, the monuments that they built are not out there. They are difficult to find and they had to be excavated. They left a very light footprint on the planet.
Yes.
Their footprint is so light that there is still a question of where they went and where their bloodline went.
Where did they go?
We know this, but it is not for us to tell, not at this time.
Yes, I heard that they went into the inner earth or they just went into another dimension.
There are different aspects and different parts. Not everybody went to the same place. They got given choices of where they wanted to go.
Okay.
She did not want to go. She decided that she loved the earth too much and she wanted to stay where she was. So she chose to reincarnate into another life.
In the same area.
It wasn't exactly the same area, but it was the same kind of life, yes.
Okay, just getting back to the question about how much are we creating and how much is destiny. She was also a little bit confused.
This is a concept that not many will get. A lot of things that you have chosen have been set out and are destiny.
Yes.
What we can do is we can send beacons, we can send reminders to light up the path. But the whole fun of being here, even though you have a serious job to do, is the fact that you have your free will. Therefore, you are creating a cause and effect by the decisions that you make. Therefore, you are your own creator. But on the other hand, it is difficult to explain because you are also not your own creator. Some things are not planned. Some things are not destined. That is part of the reason why we are actually here doing what we are doing to bring the new energy in. That is why there are so many beings who have offered themselves up for this insufferable life that we are having to experience now, because it is. Everybody at this moment is having an insufferable life. Life on this planet was not meant to be insufferable. People were not meant to be in pain. You were here to experience contrast so that you can decide, I like the taste of this, and I like the taste of that. Not to feel pain and think that that is learning. You can learn in many other ways, and some things are lessons. Sometimes we create and recreate our own pain to remind ourselves of the lessons. But it does not mean that we needed that experience of pain to go through the lesson. And that is why it is very difficult to explain. Because right now everything is upside down on the planet, and Earth is not how and the way it was intended to be. So some of it, yes, is destiny. And because you have free will, some of it, yes, you are creating on your own. But some of it is happening, and it actually wasn't supposed to happen to you. And you actually were not supposed to be exposed to that. And that is what is so difficult. Like what happened in 1994. We may not speak a lot about it because it will create a lot of emotions. But none of us meant to be imprisoned. None of us planned for what happened to the planet to happen. None of us knew how to handle it, and it took a lot of work to come and repair the damage that was made, because it nearly threw us off of our course for this energy in the fifth dimension completely. They knew this when they came in. When they came in, they knew this. And that is why they did it. But they were not supposed to. And therefore, we had to rewind and reverse and fix, and it took a lot of work. And it was very complicated. A lot of people still hold trauma in their bodies from that event. She still holds trauma. She was a little girl, but she still holds the trauma. It is in her shoulder sometimes.
What
She feels it.
happened in 1994?
When we were invaded.
What do you mean?
The planet was invaded. The Draco came in. There was a war. Africa was hit the hardest. Kenya was hit first. It was very terrible. It was 2 years of horror.
Are you talking about
People's memories were erased. They had to forget what happened. They had to forget the trauma. It is not something that we planned or wanted to happen.
Was this kind of a spiritual war?
No, this was a proper physical invasion on the planet Earth. Africa was hit the hardest. They came down. Physical human beings were hurt and hit and imprisoned. It was very horrific. We will not like to go into detail, but what we can tell you at this time is that this really happened. There really was an invasion of the Draco onto this planet. It was not allowed. No consent was given. Nobody knew. But they have wanted to keep control and tried to delay the shift. They were unsuccessful. It was 2 years. But in your human form, you only lost a couple of minutes or seconds of your memory. It is unsure, as it is different with everybody. She knew that there were parts of her memory missing from she was a little girl. She was obsessed and she couldn't understand. She thought there was something wrong with her because she really believed that parts of her memory were gone. She was correct. It was during that time.
And then who stopped that?
It was a collective thing. Lots of people went off and called for help from the outside. People who are carnated here from different species, alien species, to come and help the planet. Sent beacons. Everyone came to help. Because it was not planned and it was not allowed. It was against the universe.
Okay, against the laws of the universe, the laws of free will.
Yes.
Okay. But then you're saying that memory was erased.
Yes.
From the human beings.
From everybody.
But why? What kind of does that have something to do with the elections in South Africa or the Mandela effect that people talk about? Or is that separate events?
It happened around the same time, yes. And it is also part of the reason why things happened the way they happened thereafter. And it is also part of the reason why South Africa is struggling today. It was not handled right, and it was an oversight. It was an oversight from, we do not know who, but whoever was involved in restaging that part of history did not have the best interest of South Africa in heart.
Yes.
Yes, there was some corruption there in the information, and it has made it difficult. But we are a resilient bunch.
Yes. And why was Africa hit first or the worst?
A place called Kenya was hit first.
Why is that?
I am not sure. I do not have that information. We were not there. We were in Johannesburg when the attack happened.
Okay. And why was Africa hit?
Africa is the most valuable.
In which way?
It has everything that we need to rebuild the earth. It has what the rest of the countries do not have. It has all the right rocks. It has all the right minerals. We are the root. Africa is the root of the chakras, specifically here where we are in South Africa. We are, as you would call it, the root chakra, if you would like to go into chakras.
Yes.
We are the root chakra. The root chakra is the most important chakra. For if you are not rooted and grounded, everything else is in chaos. And it was intended to keep the root in chaos. Therefore, the rest of the world and planet could not balance.
Okay.
Because the root chakra is not balanced. We are busy balancing it now. It is almost balanced and it is almost stable. And then the other activations of the other chakras, we do not actually like to call them chakras because that is not what they are, But it is easy for Samantha to digest because she can visualize it that way, even though it is not in the visualization line that she thinks it is.
Okay.
The root needs to be strong and balanced. The root is what feeds the energy. It is like the root of a plant. Can a plant grow without roots?
Okay. And what can people do to balance this root out better?
They need to clear their root chakras and connect their root chakras into the planet. They need to do grounding, lots of grounding. We do not like to call it grounding, we like to call it connecting. We are needing to connect. We are needing to clear our lower chakras and connect our root chakra into the earth so that we can connect to this root chakra. The more people that connect and clear their chakras, the stronger this chakra will vibrate. The stronger this chakra vibrates once you are connected into it, the stronger its connection is to the rest of the planet, and therefore the feeding starts. That is why it is also important for us on this side to start clearing the ocean. The whole western area of this continent or of South Africa's job is to clear the oceans. If we can start cleaning the oceans here, which is the root, it will then filter down. And if the root system is healthy, just like on a plant, the rest of the systems will be healthy. The rest of the activations will begin. The next chakra that will be activated is the heart. The colors that people have for chakras and the orders in which they like to do the work is incorrect, and that is why they are not succeeding the way that they should be succeeding. But nonetheless, they will learn as we proceed and go forward because we are all here to teach.
Okay, and you're saying to clean the oceans, we need to go into it and just kind of feed the living library
Yes,
with our vibrations.
yes.
Okay.
Push your clear vibrations with the intent of cleaning and clearing,
Yes.
cleansing and clearing. And every time you shower or just swim in a pool, or even if you urinate, because that is in itself water. It is the water from your body that holds the memory of your body. It is the same water that you find everywhere else. But if one could do this visualization, every time you come into contact with water, visualize that you are, not that it is cleaning and clearing you, that you are cleaning and clearing it. We will get the job done a lot faster and a lot stronger, for we are running out of time. Time is a difficult thing because there is no time, yet there is time, and it is quantum and it is not. But for this purpose, we are using time because once you raise the vibration, everything speeds up. Therefore, lately, people would have been feeling that suddenly time feels like it is going faster. They will suddenly feel like they are doing the same things every day, yet they are not getting everything done. That is because the vibration is lifting. When things vibrate high, it happens faster. That is why you have, as the old sayings would say, the instant karma. You would do something bad now and you would the backlash would happen now. You would manifest something positive now or manifest something negative, as manifestation goes both ways.
Okay.
But it is speeding up. So because the vibration is speeding up, we have a certain time by which to do it, because if the vibration is too fast and we have not done this, the oceans will not be clear and we will not have the type of 5th dimension that we are all trying to build and pave way to, because we are trying to build the old Atlantis. The concept was that one of pureness. It is one that the whole world needs to adopt so that everybody can have an incarnate nature to have the true life of contrast that we actually came here to have without all the corruption that has come with the programming.
But why the urgency now? What will happen if we don't go into the oceans and root and feed?
Well, it will be done regardless. It will just be harder, but it will be done before. We do not want to be vibrating completely in the fifth dimension without it being done, because then we will not be able to clear it there.
So you're saying we'll just get there quicker, to the fifth dimension quicker, if we
Yes.
had to do more work now?
Yes, it will just get us there quicker, but not just quicker. The thing is, if everybody starts doing what they need to be doing now, then it will be less work later to teach them and help them to adjust to the new vibration. Because when you are doing this work now, you are already adjusting to the vibration. So you personally will get there quicker. The time frame of us getting into the fifth dimension, that is set. Nobody can change that. It is going to happen. It is already happening. And if everybody does not club in to do what they need to do, it just means that we will need to work harder.
How do people know what they need to do?
Everybody can feel the call, but people do not want to listen. It is the same struggle that Samantha was having now. She knows the call. She's always been connected to us. She does not need to do this to have this conversation, and she knows this. But yet she still had that doubt because of people around her, because we are a community, and a community affects one another. It is how it is. But everybody has the call. Everybody will get the call to want to clean more, to shower or bath more. Samantha was one that will only shower in the mornings. She does not like to be in water. She does not like to swim, even if it's cold water, especially if it's cold water. It is good for her, but she does not like it. But lately, she has felt that she needs to be showering more. And she is doing it because she is trusting herself. She is spending more time in water. But she is also, for some reason, and she does not always understand because she listens to her intuition so wisely, that she has not been doing her same ritual where she is cleaning her aura and charging her aura. She has not been doing that lately. She did not know why, but it is because she is not using the water to clean herself. She is cleaning the water with herself.
Mm.
It is, again, the even exchange of love yourself and respect yourself to love the planet and respect the planet and keep the energy flow going. Where we have always used the water to clean us and cleanse us, we are now returning that energy. And so we are creating the even exchange. And that is what it is about at the end of the day. The more people understand the concept of the even exchange, that is all that it is about. People get stuck on the concept of money. Money is nothing. And the more you think and worry about it, the more you repel it. People do not understand this and they find it difficult. But at the end of the day, it's always an even exchange of energy. Money does not always physically need to flow. People confuse this concept. If Samantha, for instance, does a set of lashes, she does not charge for those lashes because she felt that need in her heart not to do it. She cannot explain it. So she does not charge it and she therefore gifts it. She's not expecting anything in exchange, but she is worried because she is losing money that she is going to need for food. But then we remind her that it is about the energy, not about the money. She gave that energy out. She did not accept the energy back in the form of money, which is okay, because tomorrow somebody will come in to the spa and they will buy products for double that amount of money that she lost when she gave up the lashes, and therefore that even exchange is coming. It is not about giving money and not giving money. It is not about paying for something to show appreciation and not paying to show appreciation. It is purely about the exchange of energy. And if you exchange energy with absolute love, then you will receive that energy back because you are not constricting the flow of energy. And money works the same. If you do not think about spending the money, she is good with this concept. She has been practicing a lot lately. You do not look at the amount that the till shows you when you swipe your card, because you know what you put in your basket is things that you really need. but by looking at the amount that you are spending out of your account to be, as they would put it, logical, which is actually not, what you are doing is you are creating a vibration of lack. You know that you need these things. When you put it in your basket, you did not have lack. You have them with you. You pay for them because you need them and you cannot go without them. So therefore, it does not matter how much it was when you paid for it. Do you understand?
Yes. Well, it's that figure eight you were talking about, right? Whatever you give out, you get back in. But you're saying that the intention needs to be pure when you're actually giving something.
Yes. If you are giving something to somebody going, oh, I am giving this to you because I know I'm going to get something in return. Well, that is not from a place of love. That is not even from a place of ego. Because ego is only there because ego loves us and is trying to protect us. That is a concept I'm trying to get Samantha to understand. She is very afraid of her ego and therefore she does not embrace it. Because she does not embrace her ego, it also creates a lot of self-doubt because she is denying an aspect of herself, because she is afraid of it. The ego is not the enemy. The ego is the protector and the wanter. The ego shows you what you want so that you have your contrast. And the ego gives you the courage to go after it, which is what you want. But you cannot let your ego rule. Because if you let your ego rule, you are not coming from a pure intent. You are then only self-motivated, not self-loving. And that is the difference. To be self-motivated and self-loving is not the same thing.
Yes. Okay. So how can she not be afraid of her ego then, or the darker aspects of her?
She must just understand that her ego is there to show her the contrast. Once she understands that pattern with her emotions and with her numbers, that is what we have been trying to teach her. But she reads too much in on this of what the numbers mean and what the messages are from the guardian angels. We are not working on that vibration or in those dimensions. We do not know these things. We cannot say that guardian angels are not true. She believes them to be true. And we know that on other realms and other dimensions or lower states, it could be true. But on the 8th dimension where we are, it is not true. We are all angels in the way that they explain it. The numbers are to remind her of the emotion she was feeling. When she sees a certain number, the pattern that she needs to figure out is what emotion was she feeling when she felt it. The number is just to draw attention to the emotion. And once she understands that pattern, she will understand her ego. And therefore, she will have no self-doubt left. She will fully trust herself. Then she can really get into the work that needs to get done.
Yes, that's a very good technique because we always have to look up angel numbers. But if we just actually paid attention to what our emotion was at the time of seeing the number and then integrating or addressing the emotion.
They tell you to think about the thought pattern that you are having because they are trying to teach you that your thoughts are important to keep a pure mind and to keep a pure gut. It is important. But the actual meaning of the numbers is not always that. It can be sometimes, and that is why everybody needs to discern. That is why it is difficult to speak on behalf of the collective, because there are many different facets and there are many different collectives all living as one beautiful unit. But for our collective, and let's say another collective that you would do a session with, that would then bring forth other information, they are bringing forth information that is applicable to them, their journey, and of course from their dimension. As I mentioned, we are from the 8th dimension. That is why Samantha has been drawn to the number 8 lately. She has stayed in 2 houses with the number 8, and she has picked up on that coincidence. She did not want to look up that number because she knew that that number was not the same as the other numbers we show her. But generally speaking, to try and get out of all the false information and programming that we have received, if you are plagued with numerology numbers, as she calls them, or angel numbers, rather focus on the emotion you were feeling before you noticed the number, not the thought. Focus on the emotion. The emotion will tell you. If you saw that number and you felt anger,
Mm.
well, then you know that that is what you need to work on, because your emotions create your thought patterns.
But how do
It's very difficult to think positive thoughts when your body is feeling angry, and therefore there is a lot of resistance. And then sometimes people do not let their emotions flow through them the way they should because they do not understand. Your emotions create your thoughts. So if you focus on your emotions, your thoughts will follow.
Yeah, so emotions create thoughts and thoughts create reality. So we need to address our emotions.
Exactly, address the emotions. And that is why you have chosen to help people to learn how to heal their emotions through doing this,
Yes.
to let go, to go within themselves so that they can find their spark, their love, so that they can have that even exchange of energy.
Yes. Okay.
And that is exactly what it is.
So if Samantha had to feel anger or rage, how would she release this in a practical way?
She has been struggling with this.
Yes.
She is not actually angry. She thinks it is anger, but it is more one of resentment.
What is she resentful
She
about?
is resentful about experiences that she has had in this life because she knows that a lot of those experiences are not experiences that she chose or she created. She knows this, and that is why there is that resentment. And she is true. A lot of things have happened. As we have mentioned earlier, that was not planned. Other things in her life also happened that were not planned and that were due to other people's decisions, but that were not supposed to collide with her. But unfortunately, the whole world and planet is having this problem because everything is upside down, and that is what we are trying to fix. But because she understands this and she knows this to be true, she has been fighting against herself because she did not have the confirmation, as you will, because, she thinks everything could be distorted because she listens to outside sources. She needs to just go back within herself. She needs to understand that, yes, those things happened to her that were not supposed to happen. It is not her fault. She knows this, but it is also not the other person's fault. That other person was also not supposed to be in the position that created this in the first place. Everything was topsy-turvy, and some things just are out of control at this stage. And until we can bring the energy through and do the work that we are here to do to set it straight again so that we can have the normal kind of contrast, this will continue to happen to people on a daily basis.
Are you saying after 1994 things were topsy-turvy?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. And
But also the way that the planet has, in general, has been run, the people that have been flowing it and making the beliefs and the programmings that we all have today. The Roman Catholic Church is one of the biggest enemies that we can see to date that have created problems on the planet and that have controlling the people.
yes, specifically with guilt and
Yes,
shame, it seems.
exactly.
Mhm.
And that has thrown a lot of people off their path and created mistrust. That has also put people in places and times where they were not supposed to be, and they accidentally created havoc. That is why we are saying a lot of things you create, what you focus on, a lot you create. So if you're thinking about something the whole time, you are creating and manifesting that. That is the law of the universe. But if it's something that is happening to you, and you haven't been focusing on that, and it seems subsequently completely random, and you can honestly say that within your core that it feels random, it most probably is random because there are just things that we cannot control. That is why we were all sent here and chose to be here with the fifth dimensional shift into it, so that these programmings and vibrations cannot move with it. That is why it is important to clean the ocean, because if we do not get the ocean clean and do not get the root clean, these vibrations get to move with us and we will end up in another loop. And we do not want to do that. We want to get out of the loop. Nobody is happy on this planet unless you are on the side that cannot progress and that is causing the havoc for mankind. We do not wish to mention their names because we do not want to put focus on them and let people think about it. But we just want people to know that you need to go within yourself. And yes, some things you did not choose and some things you did not create, and that is okay, but you need to let go of it. You cannot hold on to it. Samantha needs to let go of it because it is holding her back. The resentment is holding her back. She knows she's right and she does not need to prove it.
Okay, so how can she practically then release resentment? Can you give her a tool?
It is very difficult.
Any practical steps, for instance, taking baths like we were speaking about before this and releasing it in the bath?
She needs to connect more to nature.
Hmm.
She needs to move more, as we said, but she also needs to reconnect with the children.
Her own children.
Yes.
Can you tell her about that? She was wondering about guidance for them, specifically with her youngest daughter, seems to be struggling.
She has been very disconnected from them, and that is why Skyly is acting out that way. It is the same way she acted out when she was younger, when her mother became disconnected from her.
Yes.
It is a family pattern. It is one that they will need to fix and heal. She will need to heal it with her mother and with her daughter. Only the three of them can do it together. They need to spend more time together, loving each other. That is all they need to do. Spend more time together, loving each other, just the three of them.
Okay. Okay, and is there anything about her neck and shoulder pain? You saying on the right side, you were saying it's due to.
Yes, it is some stagnant energy from when the invasion happened. She will not easily let it go.
Can you help
She
her?
needs to let it go. I've been trying to help her, but she wants those memories back. We cannot give those back to her. It will be devastating. She is not ready.
Because we can't do anything about that today.
No, the shoulder pain will subside. It will get better if she stops holding on to it. We cannot guarantee anything because even now she is trying to convince us that she is ready for those memories, but we know she is not.
Are you talking about the Atlantis memories, or which memories is this?
The memories from the 1994 invasion.
Okay.
In this life, she is not carrying anything from her other lives. That is why she was chosen to be here to do the work she is doing, because she has no baggage. She has no karma. Otherwise, she would not be able to do the work.
Okay, but she's not ready to see the things that happened in 1994,
She is
right?
not ready to
Okay.
see, and I don't know if anybody really is ready to see at this stage. Or
Okay.
no.
But can't she let go of that pain or the residual from that not seeing at the same time?
Yes, we have let go of the pain,
Yeah.
but as we said, it might come back if she remains persistent, because she is the one that is holding on.
Okay. Okay, and what about she seems to be quite anxious, having stomach problems. What is that about?
She has been struggling with her stomach, but it is because she is not moving, and also her stomach and her heart are connected. Her stomach works off of her emotions, and because she suppresses her emotions or does not always want to hear her emotions, we and the vessel produce it through the stomach to bring her aware of it.
Okay.
It is to help her remember. And when she remembers, the stomach heals. She has been on a very good path lately. Her stomach has had no issues because she has been listening. We have not needed to make her listen.
Yes. Okay, so it's just a kind of reminder of the emotions which need to be felt and integrated and released, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And she can pay attention to that if it comes up again.
Yes. And if her numbers come up, focus on the emotion that she was feeling, because that is the emotion that she is suppressing.
Okay, then she just needs to feel the emotion and that will release it. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Correct.
Any last messages for Samantha today before we close off?
She needs to stop being so hard on herself. It is okay to make mistakes because she is not making mistakes in the way that she thinks she is making mistakes. She is not making mistakes. She is learning. She loves learning. She is like a sponge. That is also part of the job that we have to do later, but we cannot disclose that with her now. She is knowledge. She likes to pick up knowledge. She is the only one that will be able to understand the information that you bring forth out of the library. Therefore, she is actually going to be your translator as well.
Okay. And but you're saying the information from the library I'm going to be getting from sessions, but also just kind of by myself. Is that what you're talking about?
The specific information from the library that I am referring to as part of our group will not be information that you get from sessions. It will be information that you personally get. It will be downloaded to you directly from your higher self.
Okay.
You will then release that information to the group, and Samantha will therefore then translate it so that you guys can understand what to do with it.
Okay. I see.